Good afternoon. We are returning as the return board for the 20 and 23 primary and special election. We have publicly posted the agenda for today. But first, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Judge James Crumlish, and with me is Judge Furlong and Judge Johnson, who also sit as members of the return board. I'll remind everyone that I'll preserve order and decorum in these meetings, as it is my duty and responsibility to make sure that these meetings did in the public interest and consistent with the Sunshine Act, which allows anyone attending a public meeting to object to a perceived violation at any time during the meeting. If you choose to do so, succinctly state your objection, and I remind you that objecting is not an opportunity for speech making or grandstanding. We will now move to public comment. Comments, if any, shall state where they live, whether or not they're a resident of Philadelphia, that they're a Philadelphia taxpayer. And since this is the return board, which candidate, if any, they represent. And again, public comment is not an opportunity for a dialogue or a question and answer session. It is for public comment and a chance for you to tell us what you think. Each speaker shall have approximately 2 minutes. However, I may, at my discretion, extend that time as long as that matter is relevant to the board's business. And again, it is my responsibility to preserve order and decorum of this public meeting and as such, profane, slanderous, discriminatory, or personal attacks won't be tolerated. Anyone representing a candidate to offer an argument on ballots and sufficiency determinations should wait until the particular category that is the subject of the agenda before making such an objection or comment. Do we have any public comments? Hearing none, I will move then to the report from Judge Furlong. Do we have any emailed public comments?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There were no public comments received by 9:45 a.m. this morning by the Commissioner's office.
Thank you. We will then move on to the agenda described as new business. First, we'll have Ms. Eckroade present a disposition of a damaged date. You may proceed.
Good morning. So we have...
And just so the record is clear, we have being projected on the screen for the board members to review the subject ballot envelope. You may proceed.
So we have received 4 ballots that were damaged in the mail with the date. This is ballot number 1.
And was this ballot received in the United States mail prior to or on Election Day?
Yes.
And the envelope and the damage was caused in transit or by some other means, but otherwise is timely and a proper ballot. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I would vote to accept this ballot as it was not the voter who made the error or caused the destruction of the outside envelope.
Second.
I also vote to accept.
All in favor?
Aye.
We will accept that ballot. The next, please.
Same thing here. The date was damaged.
And it was certainly received, or I'm sorry, it would be the board's determination that this damage to the envelope was not caused by the voter, but rather was timely received by the Board of Elections on or before Election Day. And this was, again, not the error of the voter in complying with the statutory obligations. So I would move to accept this ballot.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ballot is accepted. The next, please.
So the same thing here, date was damaged.
And looking at this ballot, all the required statutory information has been provided by the elector, and the damage apparently has been caused in transit from the Postal Service, and this is not the mistake or error of the elector, and therefore I would move to accept this ballot.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. We will accept this ballot.
And our fourth ballot.
And again, viewing the projector, I can see that all the exterior information of the voter declaration and the barcode and the other necessary elements of verification are present. And is it my understanding that this was received on or before Election Day by the Board of Elections?
Yes, it was.
And because I determine, or I would recommend that we consider to accept this ballot as the damage to the envelope was not the result of the voter. So therefore, I would move to accept this ballot.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So this ballot is accepted. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Right.
Thank you. Commissioner, looks like homework. That last one. Dog shooting.
This is not funny. Don't. This is the majesty of the democratic process. And we have Miss Roxanne Huff-Gross. Sorry, you were behind the screen. Good morning. So we're now going to move to the provision ballot sufficiency determinations. So you may proceed.
I have 4 ballots here where there is a signature. No signature.
Okay. So as a matter of Pennsylvania law, so are we going out of sequence then? I'm sorry?
That's all right. We can follow.
Just give us a matter, this is a, we want to follow along with the
Mismatch.
agenda, if you will. So, ma'am, you can proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And I apologize. This is my first run at this, so I'm trying to learn it as I go along.
So far, you are an expert,
Thank you.
and I expect nothing but the best.
All right, the first category is ballot not in secrecy envelope.
And I would vote to not accept ballots not in the secrecy envelope, which is required as a matter of statute in Pennsylvania law.
Second.
The second category.
Hold on,
I'm sorry.
we have to vote.
I apologize.
To do my job.
Yeah, 3.
So, and how many ballots are those?
I don't have a accurate record of this here.
Okay, so, but the issue itself is that if a ballot is not in the secrecy envelope, I would still move to exclude it as it is non-compliance with Pennsylvania law and statutory requirements. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. We will not count ballots not in the secrecy envelope. The next category is
Canceled
records.
record.
And how many canceled records do we have?
We have 70.
We have 70. Canceled records, I would vote to not accept them as they are not considered eligible voters if the records are not on the shore system.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So the next category, please.
Chain of custody issue.
And that would be the handling by the board or the nature of that defect.
I'm not certain how they deal with the chain of custody.
Okay,
issue.
we'll come back to that then.
Okay.
The next one would be in the agenda sequence, envelope missing ward or division.
There were 50.
There were 50. It is the responsibility of the board to fill out that information, so I would vote to accept those votes, as it was not the fault of the voter who failed to perform the duties of the local election board.
I would second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. We will not count we will count the envelope that is missing wards and divisions. The next is federal voters. As a matter of law, federal voters are not participating in this election, as there are no federal elections that have been subject to this primary and special election. So I would vote to not count any federal voters that are ineligible to vote in this primary and special election.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next category would be no ballot,
And how many do we have of that?
45.
45. As there is no ballot, there is nothing to count. So it's a difficult decision, but I would vote to not accept this proposed ballot as it is absent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The next.
Not in system,
Um,
110.
How many?
110.
That's 110 are not reflected in the shore system.
That is correct.
So as they are not on the registered rolls of the shore system, I would vote to not accept those votes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those proposed votes are not accepted by the board.
Next category is not signed by voter. There were 2.
So as a matter of current Pennsylvania law and the statute, that is an incomplete ballot without a declaration. So I would vote not to accept a non-signed ballot.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next.
Registered out of county, 129.
As proposed electors registered out of county are ineligible to participate in this primary and special election, I would vote we not count out of county electors.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We will not count the registered out of county proposed electors. The next category,
Signature mismatch, 4.
okay. We're going to have to demonstrate those or project those on the screen for the board's evaluation.
Are we looking at the bottom left hand and that signature also, correct?
Right.
Yeah. I see, okay. Oh, I see what you're looking at. Yeah.
Oh, great. Thanks, man.
I would vote that it does appear similar, and therefore, based on a similarity in the many reasons that a signature is not perfect in every repetition, I would vote to accept it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I get it. I would vote to accept this signature as it does appear to be consistent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I would, that this ballot is to be counted. The next, please. I would vote to accept this ballot as the signatures do appear to be consistent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. This ballot will be counted. But if you see, yeah, the loop is more like a John Hancock. Yeah. So it's sufficiently similar to my eye. I would vote to accept this ballot. Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. This part.
Aye. Note Judge Furlong's dissent.
Yes.
All right. Moving on,
Yes.
2 ballots, 9.
Okay. So I would ask Judge Furlong, which of the 2 ballots do we count?
First one.
That was bad humor. I would vote not to vote where there is 2 ballots.
Second.
So we will not count Romanet XII, the 2 ballots category. They will not be accepted. The next category,
Voted by mail counted, 74.
these were people that had already voted by mail when they presented to the election board
That's correct.
on election day.
That's correct.
So I would vote not to allow those previously voted mail ballots, or I'm sorry, in-person ballots.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
They will not be counted. The next category,
And our final, voted at poll, 81.
and so again, as they have voted and exercised their franchise, I would not count any of these mail or absentee ballots.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And go over the chain of custody issue.
Yeah, what is that? Chain of custody. Is this where they left it in their trunk for the 4 liters? Is it Riverwards?
So, the last category will be chain of custody issues. How many are there?
That information I don't have here, but I can explain to you about
Sure.
the chain of custody. The chain of custody ballots are ballots that came back to the board in a manner where we were unable to confirm their chain of custody or their ballot.
It is not unusual for election materials to be delayed and handled by other people, but still have the integrity of the ballots themselves intact. So I would vote to accept those ballots that were timely received by the commissioners, and the other sufficient audit features of the voting systems have corroborated that they're authentic. So
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we will count those, quote, chain of custody issues. So having said that, the return board will continue in its work, and we'll see each other at the call of the chair. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.